DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, is now focusing on FEMA, the Federal Emergency Mismanagement Agency, which you may recall wasted all of their money funding illegal aliens, putting them up in fancy hotels in New York City and Manhattan, across the country. And so they didn't have any money when Hurricane Helen hit the East Coast.
FEMA is going to be playing a pivotal role in our shelter and services program that is poised to distribute $363 million
to the criminal invader illegal aliens,
to cities and communities in need of funding.
And then they wondered why this happened.
We do not have the funds. FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season.
Of course not, but thank God for DOGE, who, if they haven't already, will soon discover the people responsible for making those payments, and they're going to be fired. Few Americans know that in New York, under the Biden administration, 20% of the hotels in New York City, including in Manhattan, which is ridiculously expensive, were being used to house the criminal invaders. And speaking of criminal invaders, it's long overdue that Ilhan Omar be investigated for the alleged immigration fraud by apparently marrying her brother so that he could get papers to then stay in the United States. Stay tuned because there's plenty more to come in this video, but real quick, you can get free shipping off any of my shirts or mugs from markdice.com this week by using the promo code DOGE at the checkouts in honor of the Department of Government Efficiency. DOGE, D-O-G-E. The Marxist Democrats and their mouthpieces in the media are increasingly upset about DOGE, obviously, and now the 19-year-old who goes by the handle Big Balls, who's part of the DOGE team, now has a State Department email address, since he is a staffer now for a government agency.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with Musk and Big Balls.
Anderson Cooper's favorite topic.
Big balls.
Big balls.
Big Balls, who work for Elon Musk's so-called Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE.
The so-called Department of Government Efficiency? Sure looks like things are getting an awful more efficient to me.
In the one case of the Big Balls kid, a literal teenager.
Big Balls online, Big Balls here, that Katie's talking about.
A 19-year-old that goes by the username Big Balls.
So that would be one way that we could refer to him.
Literally every day, these lunatics are getting increasingly unhinged. Here is Democrat Congressman Kwesi Mafum, or however you pronounce this loser's name, from Maryland.
This will be a congressional fight, a constitutional fight, a legal fight.
In order to stop cutting government waste. That's what they're upset about.
And on days like this, a street fight. Yes, we will stand.
That's what communists do. They organize useful idiots into angry mobs to threaten and intimidate normal people in whatever country it is they're trying to overthrow because, well, normal people don't want anything to do with the commies. Here is a reverend at a Baptist church in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
And in this nation, I'm worried that we are on the verge of bloodshed.
Yes, that's why we need to round up and arrest those on the left who are making such ridiculous threats.
This is an attempt to take us back to a day that we do not want to go and we will not go.
Where the government was efficient and the budget was balanced?
Therefore, there will be conflict. I pray that the peace of God will win out and overcome the madness that is attempting to take over this nation. And I will say to you, beloved, no one likes violence, but sometimes violence is necessary. When Elon Musk forces his way into the United States Treasury and threatens to steal your personal information and your Social Security check, there is the possibility of violence. Sometimes the devil will act so ugly that you have no other choice but to get violent.
Speaking of the devil, he's standing at that podium right there.
I'm gonna try my best not to preach.
Yeah, sister, you go, girl.
I just want to say thank you, because every day that we show up in D.C., we show up for you. We know who we work for.
You work for the illegal aliens, but thankfully we're rounding them up and deporting them.
We know that we work for the American people. And what we're not going to do is stand around while they pull this bullshit that they trying to pull right now.
Okay. Excuse me, you ratchet hoe. We don't use language like that around here.
This is why I'm not going to be able to preach, because I probably won't be able to stop cussing.
Take your time.
But let me tell y'all something. I know some of y'all have been frustrated, and you've been saying, why Democrats Where are our leaders?
Your party has been humiliated. You have no leadership. It's in complete disarray. And instead of trying to come to grips with reality and coming back to some normal policies, you decided to double down on wokeness. Here's Mark Cuban, best known for getting extremely lucky during the dot-com boom by having one of the companies he invested in get purchased by Yahoo for billions of dollars, which then realized that it wasn't even profitable and then shut it down, saying, some normal things back in 2017 about cutting government waste and government spending.
As a libertarian, I think we can reduce employment in government by at least a third, reduce the overhead and administration by that much or more, so that we can offer more to services for our citizens. And so if when it comes down to it, where I tend to disagree with everybody, and this is the libertarian in me, I'm happy to push down the size of government, and I'm happy to work on making government more efficient, because then more money can pass through and help the people who need it.
That was obviously before he came down with Trump derangement syndrome, because now he is one of Elon and Donald Trump's biggest critics and thinks that DOGE is ridiculous. Here's John Stewart, who occasionally does call out the left for their nonsense, or just general nonpartisan nonsense that every American can agree on, or at least used to agree on before Trump derangement syndrome, talking about the Pentagon just wasting countless billions of our dollars. This is him sitting down with Joe Biden's defense deputy secretary.
To be doing. There is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse within a system.
Audits and waste, fraud, and abuse are not the same thing. So let's decompose
then
these
please
pieces
educate me on
Sure.
What
so an
the
audit is exactly
This is in light of the Pentagon failing like their 7th audit in a row.
which you just described,
Yes.
which is, do I know what was delivered to which place?
Right.
The ability to pass an audit, or the fact that the DOD has not passed an audit, is not suggestive of waste, fraud, and abuse. That is completely false right there. So
what is
now
it
it's a question
of?
it's suggestive that we don't have an accurate inventory that we can pull up of what we have where. That is not the same as saying we can't do that because waste, fraud, and abuse has occurred.
So in my world,
Yeah.
that's waste.
How is that waste?
If I give you $1 billion and you can't tell me what happened to it, that to me is wasteful. That means you are not responsible. But if you can't tell me where it went, then what am I supposed to think?
And now CBS News has an exclusive interview with one of the USAID employees who has been fired for wasting our tax dollars on, transgender surgeries for people in third world countries, among other things.
Why in our conversation do you think you need to remain anonymous?
It has been a very hard week. Personally, professionally, as I said, I live in Washington, D.C. Many of my colleagues work in this field. Starting from January 21st, so the first day of the new administration,
they're making it seem like this is some groundbreaking whistleblower. That's why they put him in a silhouette, and they're even disguising their voice because they got their feelings hurt because they were laid off. I mean, what's next? Are they going to claim that the DOGE layoffs are disproportionately affecting black people and are racist? Oh, wait, what's this?
The federal workforce is the largest employer in the nation, and federal data shows that black Americans who have historically found greater equity in the public sector compared to the private sector will disproportionately bear the brunt of Trump's effort to gut the federal workforce.
What he means is a bunch of DEI hires are going to be fired. Bye-bye!
Black people are more likely to be employed by state or federal government than any other demographic. According to a Center for American Progress analysis of 2022 data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, approximately 1 in 5 black workers are employed in the public sector.
They're sucking on the government teat. That's basically welfare. And we all know the reason why they're so overrepresented there. There are over 400 different government agencies and sub-agencies, and so far, DOGE has only really taken a close look at one, at USAID. They're starting to look at the Department of Education now. They're starting to look at FEMA. So we have 397 more to go. Like I said, in honor of Doge, you can get free shipping off of any of my shirts and the mugs from markdice.com this whole week by using the promo code DOGE at the checkout. The site has been newly redesigned, and now all of the designs are available in mugs. And the mugs are absolutely fantastic because they're available in 3 different sizes. The standard mug size, 11 ounce, a slightly larger at 15 ounce, and a 20 ounce. And I know I need like a 64 ounce or really like a 5-gallon bucket of liberal tears in order to capture all of them that are flowing because of Doge. Those I probably won't be able to stock. But you can get your awesome shirts, mugs, t-shirts, long sleeves, and hoodies from my online store, markdice.com, or click the link in the description below and check them out.